Show us the edge. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the outlook. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Because, I thought the defensive effort really wasn't too bad tonight, but you couldn't overcome the other stuff.
No, you're right. Our offense really hurt us. I talked to the guys about it. They know that's one of the main concepts that this team does well is they turn you over. And if you turn the ball over 20 times, it's hard to make up for that, especially when we're down, Z tonight. But more importantly, give them credit. They did a good job of turning us over, being in the paint. We have to be better, and our game plan discipline has to be better. We went over it and over and over it, and we just fell into their hands. And once they turn the ball over, they're going down with options. Like you said, I thought our defense was solid. We played hard defensively, but we didn't give ourselves a chance with our offense.
And how much of the turnover issues were, Thunder's a length of their activity versus just y'all could have been better handling the ball, passing the ball, things like that?
Well, some of them, I have to go back and watch, but some of them were just unforced. And, there are a few that they did a great job of being active and getting turnovers. It's what they do well. But after we work on it, and our team comes out and not execute the way we can, it's deflating. And it leads to some of the shots not coming as fluent as they need to and being a little hesitant offensively. And it starts with the turnovers.
Trey's kind of, been struggling a little bit as of late. Is there anything, he can be doing differently? Is this just something guys go through from time to time? What do you see in there?
Yeah, hopefully it'll pass. Just continue to shoot the ball, see it go in. But I don't think he's worried. I'm not worried at all. If he's open, he needs to continue to shoot the ball.
Do you have any feeling just as far as this game, Clippers, Phoenix, Denver, just against some of these top teams in the West where y'all just not coming out with your best performances? We've seen it consistently over the past couple of weeks.
My biggest feeling about it is that, we're capable, but we haven't done what it takes to give ourselves a chance to win those type of games yet. And, this is good experience for us coming down the stretch, but we definitely know we have room for improvement.
And any idea about Zion for tomorrow's game?
Not yet. We'll know more probably tomorrow sometime.
Willie, was the second quarter the most pivotal one for you guys? I think you had 7 turnovers in a frame. You missed all 5 of your 3-point attempts.
Yeah, when you look at the box score, you can see the difference, 28-17. I know we missed some wide open shots. We got some great looks, but the 7 turnovers fuels their transition opportunities. We did a good job getting back, but he just gives them opportunity after opportunity to attack us, and that's tough. They're a good team.
And also losing, I think, the points in the paint battle by a big margin. It started early. It seemed like JV was a little bit almost not surprised, but Chet Holmgren really kind of seemed to bother him early.
Yeah, he did. He got it going early. Shot fake, driving to the basket, And, not our best performance at all. Give them credit. They came out and they played a good all-around game. We have to be better. We have to be better, starting with our offense and the turnovers, things like that, but we'll clean it up.
Your duo wasn't together tonight, but it just seemed like Brandon struggled with aggressiveness and some shot selection. And it's been a tough month for him, shooting wise, scoring wise, and getting some consistency. What do you think is there an issue just with his play, or is there something that you need to do strategically to help him get going again?
No, I don't think it's necessarily something strategically. I think they're going to put their best defenders on him at times, and he's doing a great job offensively of making the next play. And that's what we talk about. Like, you'll free up when you continue to drive, trust your teammates, which he's doing. There's moments for him to score when he has them, and he tries to take advantage of that. But we just have to continue to trust in what we're doing. And B.I.'s been doing that all season. And because he's doing it and he has a ton of guys around him, other guys are feeding off his gravity. So we'll continue to look at it, though, and if we see that there's room for improvement where we can get him the ball more in spots, we'll do it.
The first time you played them, you guys generated 17 corner threes. Tonight you had 15. Just so those are two things you've been able to do well. Is that something you can kind of like take as a positive from a night like this? Like, hey, despite turnovers, despite stuff, we're still getting kind of looking.
I hope so. We'll watch the film. After games, sometimes it's emotional, and once we get settled down and watch the tape, we can take a look. I'm sure the turnovers were a big issue for us. I know we got some wide open shots that we just didn't knock down tonight. So we'll see. We'll see how we feel once we watch it.
This road trip coming up, obviously very difficult. Starting with that back-to-back tomorrow against Milwaukee. What do you do? What did you tell the guys tonight just to kind of get their minds off of the loss tonight, and start refocusing for what's ahead?
We're gonna all feel tonight's loss. That's just that's the nature of sports. You can't flush it that fast. But tomorrow, we'll message the team and get prepared for Milwaukee. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, shout out to the flock, man. We in this thing, PPR representing, man, for this one here. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Pels routed by OKC 107-83 at home. Got a back-to-back. Pelicans travel to Milwaukee tomorrow to take on not the Eastern leading Bucks, but the second best team in the East currently. They lost tonight to the Cavs, but the Pelicans, man, my goodness. This wasn't good, man. This was an ugly loss tonight, but we'll get some perspective on it tonight. Pelicans go down. Shout out to the fam. I'm Big Q. We have DC and Lexxah chiming in on this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report to kind of make sense to the best of our ability of what happened tonight. And the Pelicans getting routed by OKC, out hustled, just out coached, outperformed everything you could possibly imagine before. Crew cut loose. Let me give you guys a shout out and ask you guys to please hit the like button. If you feel so kindly, hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, and feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Some quick stats I just want to throw at the family members, and we are going to open up the phone lines tonight for the family members to chime in. So I'll drop that link in a few minutes. But let me just throw over some stats right quick before DC and Lex jump on this. Pelicans 39% tonight from the field. 32 of 82. They were 9 of 36 from downtown for 25% flat. 10 of 14 from the foul line for 71.4. They just missed 4 of those. Really interesting statistics to talk about. Willie mentioned the 20 turnovers. They lost by 20 in terms of points in the paint. OKC beat them up 58-38 in points of the paint. And it just was a comedy of errors for the Pelicans in this one. OKC tied the series 1 apiece, and they just are a excellent team. I know Lex said this before about them being ahead of schedule. Right now, they look really good. They are now 32-13. So Pelicans fall to 26-19 to this squad, and it's very, very disappointing. But this is what we are right now. Zion, of course, didn't play BI had an opportunity to step up. His production was low in this matchup. The Pelicans looked just discombobulated, confused at times. So a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, welcome on in, DC and Lex. DC, if you want to go first, or let me know what you thought about the Pelicans matchup tonight, my brother.
Well, I gotta concede my opportunity tonight. We'll go ahead and let Lex give us the triple play, because we all know this was outside of Zion not being here. This was a major Willie screw up tonight.
Hey, we are 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. Remember what you said? You gonna start buying in. You want to go and do that? Put your early bid.
Say, Lex, I listened to Willie Green in one of his practices, and he said the C word.
You know what? He can go kick rocks. And if I was that type of person with a potty mouth and things, I give him a piece of my mind. But I ain't
we need to be more consistent. But this is a bad example of that tonight. But man, the rotations I didn't get them. We gotta switch it up from game to game. Sometimes it's just off. It's just off. And the thing with Zion, I think he's fine. Just holding him out.
Man, that played into their hands. That's what they wanted. That's what the organization wanted. I want to read a couple of things.
Which organization? What do you mean?
Which organization? What organization you play for?
He's saying that's what we wanted. We wanted to get
that's what. Excuse me. That's what they wanted. Let me excuse my wording.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, just a second. Let me get to it real quick.
Go ahead and put them news on.
Okay, it says Will Guillory said Zion Williamson left foot bone contusion is out for tonight's game versus OKC. He was able to complete his full pregame warm-up, but Pels decided to hold him out tonight. They also reported that Zion had tests done today. They came back negative. I probably should have read this before, but will warm up and determine if he will play. If he'll play against OKC. So everything came back clean. There wasn't any problems, but they still decided to hold him out, even though he didn't have any problems.
It's a back-to-back. It's a back-to-back, Lexxah. They told us before the season Zion ain't playing back-to-back. So he's
already played a back-to-back.
Did we have 3 games in 4 days?
It don't matter, man. I mean, the thing is like you got to stop treating this guy like he's not healthy. If he's healthy, let the man play. Let him play.
I'm for him doing whatever they got to do to keep him healthy. So if
they're not. I don't like what they're doing, man. I mean, and I think it's weird how they came up with this junk on like a few hours before the game. Like you couldn't make this stuff up.
They got to cover their ass.
They didn't say nothing 2 days ago.
Lex, I think this. I agree there. I think this is some political.
Something's ain't right, DC, man. You might be right, but at the same time, come on, man. That don't even sound right.
No, it's total BS. But on paper they got to make it work. But 3 games in 4 days. Zion ain't gonna play back-to-backs.
They ain't doing this to nobody else. He's been the most after JV. Zion's been the most healthiest player this season. I don't get it. Hey, resting, not playing a player is just as bad as playing a player too much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it works both ways. And what they're doing is it's just weird, man. It's weird.
Well, we're back to 2019. That's the way I see it. 2019, they did all the ramping up BS and all these little metrics to try to get him back and all of that. And then Stan Van Gundy came in. They let him play. That worked.
And that was the most games he played, 61.
Most games he played, right? So the next year they came in, right? They allowed Zion to do his thing after he came back, or supposed to be and came back from that injury, right? Got hurt again. So it became, okay, let's reevaluate this. We had the stretch last year where he was going before the All-Star break, right? Remember? And they wanted to let him play and try to make the All-Star, and he got hurt. Letting him play more minutes, the whole 9. They did it last year. Didn't work. So now they back on 2019. Let's do it our way. And they came up with a plan where he's not going to play back-to-backs. It's been the same thing all year.
But he's already played back. He's played one back-to-back.
Well, they said there was going to be certain ones.
Okay. Come on, TC. I mean,
hold on.
No, that's
what references you got here, brother?
I'm referencing when Willie Green when the first time Zion didn't play back to back.
What the hell are you talking about, brother?
You go listen to Willie Green's speech.
I ain't listening.
I don't like Willie Green.
That's before I'm referencing. Then you all want to listen to it. But we know who it's coming from. It ain't coming from Willie Green. You know where it's coming from.
All I know is that you cannot play this guy because you are scared. Like, y'all can't play this man skittish, man. You can't do that. So basically, you're assuming that every year Zion's going to be hurt. You're saying that at no time he's going to be healthy.
I don't think it's that. Let's all be honest. We heard Zion out his own mouth last press conference say he's 90 to 88%, and I was joking about
nobody's 100% though, DC.
No, I get that. But prior to that, even is the point I'm going to make. Has Zion not been out of shape for a large portion of the season? Are we just starting to see him kind of?
You can't replicate NBA play, but the thing is, you cannot get in shape for basketball unless you're playing basketball.
True.
I don't care what anybody says. You have to play the game in order to get in shape. And the thing is, LeBron has said this. He said this at Miami, and so did D Wade. They said they did so many things. And these are like some of the best. I mean, LeBron, he lasts the game like for 20 years now. I mean, he's on top of his game. So who better to tell you than him? But he has said that you can train your butt off for months. You can train as hard as you want to, but you can never, ever replicate getting up and down a professional basketball game. You can't replicate it. That's why when guys come in, because back when Antonio Daniels, and he talked about this too, when they started in training camp, they trained for a month. They went hard for a month. That's why back during his time, when guys came in playing at the start of the season, they were in shape. They were ready to go because they were practicing for the rigors of the season. That's how they prepared. Now it's 2 weeks. You can't do that in 2 weeks. And they call it, you're protecting your investment. No, you're not. You're hurting your investment. What Stan Van Gundy said, like, I think last year, is like, look, back in the day, they didn't have these extensive medical staffs. They didn't have these extensive trainers or anything like that. But yet guys were playing. They stayed healthier. I mean, it's almost like, nowadays they're crippling the players, man. That's why they're not lasting as long, because the thing is, instead of playing them, your answer is, let's sit them and rest them. What?
But the majority of a lot of players in the league, this is what they're doing. I'm on the side of, I like the old school basketball where they played, guys were more durable.
Yes,
I
they
agree with you.
are for a
But
reason.
but at the same time, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I don't know who my general manager is for real, not the one entitled. And
Hold on,
that
DC.
they have
DC, hold
what's
on.
up?
Who's your general manager is?
The vice president of basketball operations.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was just
So
That's yours.
well, I am the Pels because they are the New Orleans Pelicans. So yeah,
Oh.
gotta own them till we get them on up out of here. But as long as things keep going the way they're going, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. But nevertheless, we already knew they were gonna do this. And I will say this: my only negative or my point that I guess I would kind of be on this side, or I kind of understand. Zion didn't do everything that he needed to do. Zion didn't come in underweight. Like we all know that. You can see him looking slimmer now, which definitely should be more upset about holding him out of this back-to-back. I forgot about the back-to-back rules. And then I seen it today. I'm like, oh, that shit again. But if this is what they're going to do, Zion hasn't gotten hurt. If this is what it takes and it works to get him to play a full season and actually be playing his best basketball by playoff time, I'm with it.
Even with him playing restricted minutes,
letting him play straight out, I would like to see that. But I did realize that they did do that last year. They let him play straight out, and he got hurt again. So I understand some of the apprehension, but I don't think it's just a clear-cut answer to it. I think you should be smart and strategic about it and know, let's say if he's a little banged up or for real and you playing a stretch of 3 games in 4 days, then yeah. But like you said, I saw him in the warm-up. Zion looked totally fine. He coming off a franchise-setting 11 assist game. Our offense looked better than it ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's sit him out this one.
I
get it. I would have rather preferred him sit out.
But the thing is, it's not like they didn't do their due diligence. They took tests. They went over. You know what I'm saying? That was it. The precaution right there.
What test you take for load management, like Marley saying? You got load management.
He's already playing restricted minutes. He's been playing that all season.
Yeah.
He's not even averaging 30 minutes a game. He's not even playing superstar minutes right now. Look at how they sub him in and sub him out, which is hot garbage. I mean, it's just you're not setting, like I understand like where you're coming from, but I'm looking at how they had this, and it's like this is not a recipe for success. That's not helping him.
You really think the Pelicans I don't think they're looking at this season as like how we do or we want it to be. Like, hey, let's go out there, let's go on a run and we maybe could win the title. I don't think they're looking
like
at
they ain't trying to do nothing. They
right.
just it's like there's no direction.
They're looking at it like this is another year of growth and we can see what we got and what we're gonna do.
Well,
we're not
collecting
pushing
data.
all our chips into the table this year. And it's obvious.
It's a collection of data. Because the thing is, no, I'm saying they're collecting data. They're trying to see, because this is the first time where everybody's pretty much healthy. Everybody's on the court. So they're trying to see, okay, who's working, what's working, what needs to change, where do we need to get better at? That's basically, I mean, it's almost like this is like a flop season or something, just so they can, because the thing is they're going to have to make decisions. There's a lot of decisions.
Flop season. I see them wanting to go into the postseason with Zion and BI healthy. That's what I think our major goal is. Get these guys in the postseason and see what they can do. That's really what I think they would deem a success. We get out of the first round, great. But they want to see those two guys in a high pressure situation unleashed.
Let
Man,
me
And I
we
think
see
they're
a high
willing
pressure.
to load manage Zion to make it happen.
But in order to prepare for that, they have to play. And the thing is, right now, they're not doing well in high pressure situations.
Not at all.
So the thing is, how can you prepare for high pressure situations in the playoffs and you're not doing that now?
Well, let me give you a little insight, Lex, because we've seen this story before. This is just a bigger portion of it. It's in bigger increments. We're gonna do burst, except they're gonna do it.
Man.
Wait, hold up.
Look,
I'll let you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna
Okay.
come out the All-Star break, right? And you're gonna
Oh.
see a ramp up in Zion's minutes.
Okay, that's enough. Let me
closer
shut
we
you down.
get to the end of the
Okay.
season.
DC,
You know
get
what,
up.
DC?
Control
Don't
yourself.
take this the wrong way. You getting on my nerves.
Control yourself.
Somebody got to give you the reality. Come on now.
What?
DC, control yourself, brother. You're getting out of control here,
Who
brother.
is our general manager? Can I ask? Well, y'all think the general manager is Trajan Langdon sound like? Huh?
No, I mean, in title, it is trained. You're aiming at the octopus, and we know the octopus is the one that's responsible for.
And we're gonna
And
see
I'm
a
really
ramp up in
pissed off at
Zion's
you.
minutes
Well,
the closer it get to the season.
But
Going
I
into
agree.
the playoffs to kind of get them prepared for like what Lex is saying.
You-
You're
you- yeah,
absolutely right, Lex, and I'm trolling a little bit because I know
Yeah, I
they're
know
not
you
gonna
are.
do that. They're not gonna do that.
Because I'm
That's what we want. That's what they should do, but they're not gonna do it.
just, the thing is, in order to prepare for the playoffs, and I'm looking at from the time the season started till now, I don't see a whole lot of growth. I really don't.
I see
I'll-
some growth.
I see growth, Lex. I think
I
that's a
see
big
growth,
push.
Lex.
I mean,
I do see
We
some
broke the franchise record in points.
okay,
we
no.
have growth.
But what happens after we break records? I don't want to break no more records.
Oh, there
If
ain't no
it
growth.
mean- if it
There ain't no
means
growth
after-
in that department.
If it means that the next game you gonna come out and play inconsistent hot garbage like everybody look like they never picked up a basketball, I don't want them to break records. How you go from scoring 153 points and you scored 83 today?
And you had
Well,
rest and had time. I
I
mean,
can-
Yeah, you had 2 days, man.
Let me
You
get
did.
into this. Hold on,
Go
DC.
ahead, Big Q. You ain't had a chance to say nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all doing good, but we're gonna have plenty of time to kind of delve into that because I'm going to kind of move it along because
Oh, you
I
want to
want
talk
to be
about
able
these garbage ass stats?
to. No, well, listen, I know that. Dude, you see out of control tonight. We want to talk about the garbage ass stats, but we talk about the stats whether they're good or bad, brother. We don't stat discriminate
Make
here,
sure
brother.
you put them points by quarter too, boy. That's atrocious.
I know, brother, especially the
We
last
had two teenage quarters.
2 teenage quarters. The second and the fourth was ridiculous, man. But yeah, indeed, I agree with both what you guys are saying. I really do. I think that in terms of what the Pelicans doing, they are trying to keep BI and Zion. They're really handling the kid gloves with Zion. They're gun shy with Zion, so they're gonna hold him and play him with the kid gloves. We know what time that is. I think they're trying to get him into that playoff situation and hope that they galvanize and work whatever they got to work. It's still a lot of stuff going on with this team. They're just so radically inconsistent at times, and that's the whole thing. I think that at times, I know the offense goes up and down. The 3-ball falls for them at times, and then when it doesn't, they get confused. Tonight it's like and when I was watching the game, and I was listening to it too on the when I had to move around and do some stuff tonight, but the word's out on the Pelicans, man. You be a little physical with the Pelicans, or a lot physical with the Pelicans. That's a whole thing that they're getting. You just have to rough them up and be physical with them, and they'll fall apart to a degree. We seen like tonight in the in terms of basketball IQ, very low basketball IQ tonight. I mean, and Willie Green is. I mean, you look at the guys. Family. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these coaches, I know them. And not very, familiar with a lot of these guys, like the OKC coach who came in here and just out-coached Willie's team. I mean, their team came in and out-efforted the Pelicans. The Pelicans do have a lot of talent, but they just came in and just out-efforted them. The IQ was not there tonight. The easy layups, the defensive IQ, which the Pelicans are supposed to be, regardless if the shot is falling for you tonight, You're supposed to have a high IQ defensively. That was not absent today.
Hold
That
up.
was
You
absent.
don't think they had a high IQ defensive? I mean,
No,
the Thunder, they averaged like I think 120, 130 something points a game. I
no,
don't
bro.
think
Listen,
defense was fully the issue.
they scored 107 points tonight, bro. They on
That's
them, and
well below their average, though.
still in all, bro. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just being honest with you on that. They scored. They usually average 120 points. The Pelicans held them to 107 tonight, but the Pelicans put up 83 points tonight. I mean, defensively speaking,
You sound like Woody for a second talking about the defense, bro.
I'm just saying, bro, the defense, you get their defense off offense, right? I mean, that's a principle that Willie Green always likes to throw out there, especially when the shot's not falling for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
But when we heard at halftime report, they had the coach. He was talking about what they needed to do and what was going on with the shooting and all that. We encouraged them to keep shooting. If the shot's not falling, bro, I'm not encouraging you to shoot the ball. Go to the damn rim. Stop treating what's that guy, Chet, like he goddamn Rudy Gobert. I mean, come on, bro. Cramming on his goddamn
Well,
head.
actually, when they play Rudy Gobert, they attack him all the time. So,
dude, this was insane.
It's a prime check, I guess, huh?
Valanciunas thing, this low IQ basketball, bro. I mean, working it down to Valanciunas and making it happen, bro. What was that today? I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. It's just they don't have a standard or a set principle that they can go to. It's just up and down, man, and it's all around, and they have to stabilize it. And we just in the stretch where they have to figure this stuff out. We still in January, getting toward the back end of the January. They got to iron all these wrinkles out, and they still trying to figure it out. But it is very disappointing when you see the Pelicans destroy a team and then come back and then get blown out by a team, and like they did tonight. And then it's just the way they lose these games. It's low effort. You know, it's like in low IQ, low effort. It's just me. I got up and left and stopped watching the game at the 5-minute mark. Because I could see that I was like, this team can't get stops. This team is still jacking up stupid ass shots. He's scared to attack the rim. I mean, it was not there, man. And I could see the rhythm of the game. And I said, I got up at the 5-minute mark and said, hasta la vista to that shit, man. For real. But anyway, let's get into the rest of these garbage stats as DC talked about in the matchup. And I know y'all talking about Zion, but BI played 34 minutes tonight and had 12 points tonight in 34 minutes. You know,
I'd have been happy if he had
hold on, let me run
18
through these
shots with them 12 points, man.
But he had 5 of 9 shooting from the field, right? 2 of 5 from the foul line. He had 12 points tonight. Zion wasn't there, but BI, the next big gun, 12 points tonight. 14 from Herb, 14 from Bell, 12 from CJ on 14 to 15, shooting 2 of 7 from downtown. He had 9 3-pointers the other night, 2 tonight. Trey, 6 points in 28 minutes. 6 points by Trey. Nothing. One of 6 from downtown. Nothing was working for this team tonight. Nothing. The bench, Jayhawk, he was 50% from downtown. He finished with 9 points. Not much else to talk about, you know, with the Pelicans in terms of that. So shout out to the Thunder. They did what they're supposed to do. They got in there and they played high IQ basketball. They hustled. You know, they circulated the ball. They played really good defense. And they had it on their mind, man. And it was just an effort thing. And they took it from the Pelicans, man. They even the series at 1-1. So Lex, I'm gonna bring it back to you and swing it around to you. Then we'll go to DC and then we'll go to the preview of the Milwaukee matchup game tomorrow night. And then we'll open up the phone lines. Lex, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I did take notes on this game. Yeah, definitely OKC. They played very hungry. They played hungry on every possession. And they had minimum mistakes. Trey is really struggling. That dude is really struggling, man. I don't know if his knees bothering him or if he's just having a tough time getting into a good rhythm, but he's really struggling, and not getting anything from him, you know, really doesn't help because, you know, it condenses the floor a whole lot more. I don't know, man. I've watched this OKC team, you know, against other teams. But one thing, you know, for them to be as young as they are, they really capitalize off your mistakes. Their ball movement and player movement looks good, and they share the ball well, and they're fundamentally sound.
Sound like good
It's-
coaching to me.
Yeah. Another thing, I know you all, or Big Q, I know you mentioned the physicality. I know this is kind of weird, but I actually didn't feel like this game was really physical. When I look at the Dallas game, that Dallas game was like, it was very physical. The Charlotte game was very physical. They don't really come across as a really physical team, but I noticed something that about them. They're really active with their hands. They're really active with their hands. They play the passing lanes very well, and they move their feet on defense. And it's not individual defense. They play team defense. And I got to say, I was actually impressed with their defensive activity, because it might have appeared like they were being physical, but they weren't really physical. They were getting their hands on, they were just really pushing those passing lanes and deflecting the ball. They did that a whole lot tonight. But for the Pels, just inside and outside offensive game, it was just a struggle. It was a struggle, man. It, as always, all the shots seemed like they were difficult. Didn't get anything easy. It was just, I mean, even with JV had what, 14 points? I think somebody else had 14 points. Was it her?
These shots was kind of easy.
Yeah, but even when you're looking down there, it seemed like they were hanging on his arms or something, because he only had one arm and he was leaning weird. I don't know what was going on. I wish they would have zoomed in a little bit more so I could see. But it just seemed like there was a struggle down there with Chet. And then they were crowding him. Like he had like 3 people just collapsing on him down there. So that don't help out a whole lot either. But this game was a slow, smooth, cool, laid back blowout to me. It was just really like, I don't know. There was just a smoothness about it. It was like, yeah, OKC was like just real chill, because everything was just coming easy for them. I mean, it just, I don't know. That's just how it came across to me. And then like looking at the Pels, it kind of made me think, what did the Pels practice on? Sorry about that. What did they practice on, these last few days?
Point Zion.
Don't start, DC.
That's what they practice on.
Look, who held them out?
Doc Ock. It wasn't Willie Green.
Okay, well, look, this organization got problems. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't know that.
Yeah. OKC didn't have to change anything in the second half. They were just trading points. So, I mean, that's basically all I saw. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, for OKC to be as young as they're really solid. They're really solid fundamentally. They know who they are. Everybody knows their roles. They share the ball. They move the ball well. The player movement is well. And another thing I noticed, and Antonio Daniels, he pointed this out, is that they continue to move the ball until they get a good shot. They don't settle. If somebody doesn't have it, they keep moving it. They keep moving it until they get the shot that they want. And again, to be that young and to be patient like that, that's not something that's that's not a regular. So got a lot going for them. No wonder they're the number 1 seed. That's all I got.
Well, I think the style of ball that the Pels been playing hurt them tonight. We've liked what we've seen with them sharing the ball, letting other guys take shots, but I'm looking at that stat line of BI having 5 for 9, and just a game where Zion is out, man. I would expect him to be ultra aggressive. The defense on him, they was crowding him. But you gotta step up and do something, man. Nobody has it going. All our role players were at home, but doesn't really seem like it's at home. Hawk seemed like he was kind of ready, but as soon as he get it going, Willie Green takes him out the game. That's great. But Trey can't hit a shot. Man, I think Trey hit his first 3 with like
Yeah, I
7
think that's the only
minutes or
shot
8
he had.
minutes in the fourth quarter. It's like, man, this isn't like Trey. I'm pretty sure he'll figure it out and he'll turn around. But it's that right now, like, what do? You put him in a starting lineup, for Zion, expecting to get it. I would think at least 14 points out of him, and I don't think he had nowhere near that tonight. Trey had 6 points, 8 points. My bad. So the whole thing looked discombobulated. They look off. After maybe about the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, it just looked like it was going to be one of them nights. The Thunder did force them to like 20 turnovers and scored 22 points off those turnovers. And that's a big reason why they won the game, as well as a lot of other things. But we're not going to get them foul calls. You kind of see where the refs were. The refs ain't had nothing to do with us losing. We didn't show up. We didn't execute. And again, when we see things aren't working, we don't change it. We keep doing the same shit. We reverted back to our old ways, so to speak. We have a franchise-setting record game, and then we have a season low tonight, which is 83 points. So we scored the most points we scored all season. Then we scored the lowest amount of points we scored all season. This is our identity right now. This is the Pels. Consistently inconsistent, like my man Slim South said earlier. Just cannot figure out a way to balance things out. Still early in the season though. Still got a lot of ball to play. We still in the top 6. I don't know if we 5 or 6 now after this loss. But they're gonna have to figure some things out. I like what I saw with Point Zion. It's just a little disheartening that as soon as you see that rolling, then they take him out. Take him out that game and everything just falls apart. And BI, I don't know what's going on with BI. I don't know what happened with BI when we went Team USA. Or maybe BI is just, he went from, looking for his to try to get everybody involved. And now he's trying to balance that out, knowing when to be aggressive, when not to be. But you can't play the Thunder, man, go up against Shea and only take 9 shots. And you are our best guy out there. Still, this is one game. I think we have a chance to go and shock a lot of people and play the Milwaukee Bucks, because I think Zion will definitely play tomorrow. I don't think they're gonna hold him out that game. Not really, like you said, Lex. That injury ain't real. It ain't serious. So he'll definitely suit up, and we'll see if we look closer to the team we saw play Utah than what we saw tonight. Because if I know one thing, the Pels have been consistently inconsistent, and they have consistently played tremendous ball after getting embarrassed. So this is kind of what they do. They fall off a cliff, and then the next game they come out and they try to put it on that team as if they can make up all the lost ground that they had from the previous game. So ready to move forward and looking forward to seeing them with Milwaukee. Like I said before, when we had these talks about Willie and everything else, I'm just ready for the other half of the season. I think they will ramp up Zion minutes at some point, right? We're going to have to play meaningful basketball down the stretch of the season. We're not the number 1 seed. We ain't in the top 3. So we really got to play like it depends on it just to make the playoffs and not be in the playing spot. But tall order against the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't normally win these games against the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, and then we're in the 7th spot right now. You know what? I guess it's just a game or so that separates us from being right back in the 5th. But if the Suns keep playing how they playing, book drop like 62 tonight, man. They might be moving their way on up, trying to solidify that spot. And then that'll leave us with 1 spot to fight with the Kings with to have an actual playoff slot and not make that playing game again. I don't think none of us want to see the damn playing again. We've been there the last 2 years. Yeah, we've been there, done that. Sick of that shit. But if the Pels want to get serious about being a top 5 team, man, it's gonna take some changes, some adjustments. We're gonna have to get more consistent, like you always say, Lex. But I think it's gonna involve utilizing some guys differently, reconsidering like what the priority is. Leaning into point Zion, I like that. The more Zion touches the ball, the better. Period. Like we're successful. The more you get him the ball, we're successful. So when we see guys Zion cutting and he's got all these off ball motions, and we gotta find a way to get him the damn ball. Because I see too many times where he got his guy pinned and they just don't get him the ball. Like I don't understand that shit. And if we want to get serious about winning, we're gonna have to figure that out. So it ain't about him scoring all the points, but he draws all the gravity, so he's got to touch the ball a lot. And then when you got Zion out, I need that version of BI that can get us 40 points, man. I need him to go out there and get some buckets. You can get buckets and get dimes. Shea was doing it. So I like the fact that they're trying to play team ball and they got this thing with get everybody involved, which is dope. But it's like we don't know how to balance that out to just feeding your guys or feeding the hot hand. So if you don't have a hot hand, then you got to go to your guys you could depend on. That would be BI, JV, Zion, CJ. So game like tonight, CJ don't really have it going. BI, you got to take over, man. Get JV a few more touches. Some of them were, it's a little difficult down there. It was fouling everybody, but you gonna stop attacking? You gonna stop going at them because they're not calling the fouls? Keep play through it. Make them call them. Like Q was saying, I think that's what he was talking about, referring to roughing them up. And I agree. A lot of times teams know they can foul us hard, and the refs don't call the fouls all the time. And, we don't necessarily always just complain to the refs, but it's just like this dejected energy where they going through the motions. Then all the shots become hard because it feels like a way to score is cut off. Now you got to make the perfect shot. You got to hit all these 3-pointers to keep us in the game or get back, man. So I think a lot of things can definitely be improved on, but at the same time, the Pels have done a lot of things that I like, this year. It's just a matter of balancing all that out, man, and strategically understanding your opponent and utilizing the best weapons you have when you need to utilize them. So if we could figure that out, I think we could get past a lot of these severe swings, man, and wins and losses. Because you go to extreme highs and then extreme lows with the Pelicans. It's like it's no in between.
All right. Thank you, DC. All right. So shout out to Mr. Bird, man. Appreciate you, bro, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Shout out to the flock, man. Appreciate y'all being in this one, man. The Pelicans, man, didn't have a good night tonight, but they'll try to bounce back tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is something that we'll be dealing with coming up, man. And this is we'll be touching to the preview of it. You can see the Bucks, they lost tonight to the Cavaliers, man, but they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise. So the Greek Freak and Dame Lillard, those guys are playing pretty good up there, man. You're looking at some of the statistics that we got on the screen right here, and you can see, man, it's going to be another tough outing, man, between the two of them. As you can see, points per game ranked as second in the NBA, third in field goal percentage, fifth in three-pointers made, eighth in three-pointers attempted, seventh in three-point percentage, second in free throw attempts, even though they're 17th in free throw percentage. They're top 10 in rebounds, 13th in assists, ninth in as you can see, the TOVs and other things. But outside of that, the Pelicans got a few things going on for them. But we got to have a better outing, offensively speaking, against this team. So hopefully Zion plays. I know what DC and Lexxah was alluding to. They believe that Zion will play in the matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks. We want to see some positive stuff happen between these teams, man. But it's going to be a good game. I want to see a better outing. And usually that we talked about that, DC. That's usually what you get from the Pelicans after an outing like tonight. You get a better performance against the following team. So let's kind of delve into that. Lex, you want to kind of lead us into the preview against what it takes to kind of we need to do to get the win against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, man.
Breathe, like
prayer. The Bucks are coming off of a loss against the Cavs, and they're going home. I don't know if that was a home game or not, but obviously we're traveling up there to play on their court. I mean, they got a lot going for them. Obviously, they're very highly motivated because, they just got rid of their coach.
Yeah, Lex, it was at home. It was they had 2 games at home against the Cavaliers. They split with them.
Oh, okay. All right. So whatever
Who's coaching the Bucks now? Doc showed up yet?
Yeah, he's hired he hired a new assistant coach, but I think he's there now.
Okay.
He wasn't there the day that they hired him. I think that was the interim coach, the day that they were dancing and all that stuff in a circle. But whatever we played with on tonight, we don't want to play with that. We got to play with a whole lot more energy. Got to get the ball in the hole. If the shooting is not there, 3-point shooting still is not our bread and butter. We're not known as a 3-point shooting team. So they're going to do that boxes and elbows and things, and guys have to be ready when they get an open shot, because we missed a lot of open shots, but we got to knock down the shots. The Bucks are still vulnerable on the defensive end, so we need to be on the attack mode. We need to be on the attack mode. When there's mismatches, we want to exploit the mismatches, obviously. But really just play with more energy, match the intensity that they're playing with. But we can't really have any mental lapses in this game. We got to come with it. I know they probably still thinking about this game against OKC, but you got to block that out of your mind. You got to face another juggernaut team in the East. So I don't know if we will win this game. I'm not really sure because we really don't know what type of Pelican squad we're going to get, whether Zion plays or not. And that's the crazy thing, to say that we just don't know. I don't think they really pushed themselves on tonight like that, just by the way that they looked out there. So maybe on today, or excuse me, not today, but maybe against the Bucks, they'll be going harder. But again, I mean, it's like,
Was holding back, Lex?
huh?
They was holding back?
I don't know. I mean, the Pels have been inconsistent, so I mean, we never know what we're gonna get. I mean, we just had a record-breaking night, and then we had this night. You know what I'm saying? It's just got to come to play. The guys got to come to play. And that's basically it. I mean, everything is fairly new with Doc coming in. I'm pretty sure he'll probably go with whatever the philosophy is of the team, and so he probably won't incorporate anything new. But we just got to be ready. I mean, they just lost. Both teams are coming off of a loss, so it's like, who wants to win more? Who wants to win more, man? You got to show some conviction and play with a lot of heart, play with a lot of will, and get it done. If your shots aren't falling, find other ways to get the ball up in the hole.
Damn,
Get to the free
way
throw
back,
line.
huh? I was looking at Q on the slideshow. He done went way. He showed a picture of Doc Duncan up there, man. 1980 or so. But yeah, Lex, you're absolutely right. You don't know which Pels team you're gonna get. But I will say this, and I sound crazy after watching tonight saying they're gonna beat the Bucks. But I do understand that the Pels are really good on the road. But the Bucks are really good at home. And so is Boston. I say we gonna beat one of them.
DC, one team at a time, man. One team at a time.
Hey.
Look,
gotta look at the big picture, Lex. Gotta look at the big picture.
Yeah, I understand, but after looking at tonight's game, look, I'm like, man, why does it look like the next 3 games?
Well, they play. I don't know what it is. It's this weird thing of us shitting on the home fans. You know what? I'm blaming y'all.
These
y'all
are
up in there. Y'all saying the Bucks ain't gonna win. That they ain't showing up at home. I'm the only one. Even the matchup indicator is against me tonight.
Look, the Celtics, they've only lost 1 game at home.
What is about time for them to lose another one?
Bro, they lost to the Cavs tonight, man. The Bucks ain't gonna be playing. And Mr. Bird said, didn't he have 51? It was 50, bro. He scored
50 tonight?
No, 50 against the last time he played the Pelicans. He scored 50 points on the Pelicans.
That sound about right.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
It's crazy because tomorrow is the 27th. He did that last year on the 29th. He scored 50 on the Pelicans.
Good thing it ain't gonna be the 29th tomorrow.
It's close enough.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the 27th. Okay, like
the stars was aligned that day. Come on, man, y'all have a little faith.
We do have.
So we gonna lose the next 3.
I don't think the team does.
I think they're gonna play better. And this is what they do. Like they'll have these letdowns and then they come back and they play a lot better.
They're against better teams, though. You're talking about the top teams, and they know who they are. They're playing well. Well, they're coming off of a loss, but they're still like what 30-14 in second. I mean, they're still doing well.
Well, let me ask this realistically. All jokes aside, this issue that we have against top teams. Do you guys think we will continue to have the same issue all season? Or at some point when we playing one of these teams, will we get tired of getting embarrassed? and a switch gets flipped or a light bulb goes off um or they figure something out that they can actually stick with against the higher caliber teams, maybe we still lose that game or whatever, but we figure something out to build off of. I think that has to happen at some point.
I agree with you on that, DC.
I don't think they'll
think
continue to go
It's
against top tier talent and top
getting
tier
embarrassed.
opponents and just keep laying eggs like that.
Exactly. I think
it's the win. WHEN. That's what it is. It's that part.
but don't those great
Damn,
teams
Marlon, you
go
negative
through that
in
though? I mean,
No, I mean,
don't they go through that though, Lex? I mean, you gotta figure out how to win, and just like we talked about a lot with all the talent that they have, like the injuries really decimated a lot of the development the core actually had. In the time, it took a lot of the time and just stole a lot of stuff from them. Now they have to kind of merge very quickly, based on the timeline, because they're at the back end of that timeline when a lot of things have to happen in terms of some of these guys might have to get traded. Some of these guys are not in the plan beyond this.
We need a
Yeah.
good old fight, Q. That's all. You see what it did with the Warriors, huh? When Draymond Green punched Poole, they won a championship.
Well, I don't think anybody gonna punch
we,
Hey, we need a fight,
ain't
man. We
even-
need
we
some
ain't even at
frustration.
that point. But you know what? Ain't nobody want to do that. You know why? Because they have them stupid titles up in that practice gym talking about, look, let's be holy and be nice and be joyful and have mindfulness and gratefulness. And chicken, that is not gonna help us. It's not helping. Okay, and I'm not being negative. The win part is important. WHEN. It is.
We're building a
It's like
team, a culture. Lex, we're building a team
Mr.
together.
Bird said we need a thug on that team.
I'm not feeling that culture. That's
together.
that's too nice. And look, teams are getting more physical. Are we gonna use joy and compassion against that? I hope not.
Well,
You better push back and show you got
you
some
ain't never seen the Care Bears, huh, Lex?
Okay, you know what?
Come on now.
You know
They
what,
shot-
DC? You
they
are
shot
feeling
joy
this
and
tonight.
compassion out their chest.
You are trying to try me tonight, DC.
And they overcame their enemies, Lex.
Look,
DC is out of control tonight. DC, calm down, settle down, DC.
oh my gosh, this dude mentioned the
I
Care Bears.
choose not to get depressed by the Pels tonight. I'm sorry.
That boy about to talk about.
my gosh.
I'm just saying the Care Bears was kicking ass with that love and compassion.
Oh my
Care
goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all don't remember the Care Bears?
Say, bro.
I've seen stickers, but are we talking about basketball?
Well, I'm just saying, love conquers all. Lex.
It really
That's my
doesn't
point.
match up to me. Oh my god!
You can overcome it all with love, Lex.
You know what, DC? We gonna wait till February 14th for that when One Love comes out.
You know what though?
Okay.
It's a lot of stuff going on though, fam. Because y'all mentioned and you talked about how the Pelicans respond when they're not getting the calls, right? Y'all talked about that. Like we don't always get the calls. Some of these recent games we were getting the calls. And how we respond to that is a whole nother thing. I think that there is a question about their toughness that they're going to have to answer coming up real soon, because you're not going to win no playoff series by not getting tough. Because some of these other teams, when you get into the playoffs, they're going to be real physical with you, and you're going to have to respond in kind to that. And like I said, I think a lot of the injuries kind of stole the development that the team has, so they're going to have to kind of get it quick, so to speak. So Willie's going to have to pick this up. He's going to have to figure this stuff out a lot faster, because the time is approaching. Like we about to get into February, fam. We got February 8th before the trade deadline. And then after that, you got the All-Star game coming in there. And then after that, then, what happens toward the back end, getting ready for the playoff run. So the Pelicans overall, you can look at the record and say, well, the Pelicans have done all right, but they still have a lot to learn. And they have a lot to learn. So they got to figure it out, man. And that's on the court, that's off the court with Willie and all this kind of stuff. And you're right, Lex, you made some great points about the teams that they're playing know who they are and have adopted a style of play, and they have an identity, and operating like that and being on code when your team's on code and the team that the team that you're playing is on code, and when you're off code and guys are just playing hero ball and they're not circulating the ball, and then all of a sudden now we doing ISO ball and all the guys just jacking up shots, not running plays, and the defense goes down here, and then all this kind of stuff it just looks bad. So at some point, Willie's gonna have to do a lot better than this. We have to figure out what to do in certain areas of the game. When this happens, we have to have a fallback for that, and it's all strategy. And we have to get a lot better at that part of the game real soon. So, like I said, I still think there's hope. DC asked the question about, do they iron out the wrinkles? Do they flip the switch and move to the next level? I do think they do that. I really do think eventually they will do that. You see bits and pieces here and there, Lex, and you see them with the toughness, like some of those defensive outings when the Pelicans are on fire, they playing defense, the shot is falling. They're a difficult team to deal with. But, like I said, I'm still really optimistic about this Pelican team, even though they exhibit these weird traits at when the game is not in their favor. But at the end of the day, I think there's still more pluses than minus with this Pelican club. I really do think that ultimately they will flip a switch and we'll get to that level. Now, I agree with DC because we've been doing this for a long time, watching how they've been handling Zion Williamson, and they are really gun shy. We're handling Zion Williamson's health situation. They're going to always err on the super ultra side of caution when it comes down to Zion Williamson and his health situation, because what he means to the team. So having all these guys healthy for the playoff run, I think that's centered focus, but you got to also remember, like you said, they have to get Zion in shape, fully 100% shape, and getting ready for, that big portion of the season after the All-Star break when everybody just centered, lock in and do their thing. So, like I said, I think they have the talent, but we just got to get there. Go ahead, DC.
The only reason I slightly agree with them doing it like that, because I've seen it go the other way. We've seen what happened when they just let Zion do his own thing. It was horrible. We got Stan Van Gundy up out of here, which obviously was a coach that wasn't going to get us nowhere, right? But Zion had probably the best year of his career under Stan Van Gundy, So it's something about having him play all of those games and not babying him. It works. Zion, to me, he don't need a coach with love and tenderness and caring and the Care Bear stare and shit.
You are really feeling it tonight.
I'm just they lighten up the comment section about me talking about the Care Bears. So I just want to throw that in there. But he need a coach that that might cuss him out. He need a coach that might get in his face and be aggressive with him. So Willie ain't gonna do that, right? So maybe we need an assistant coach or a veteran with some toughness, or a thug, like Mr. Bird say, or Naj, you need to sneak somebody, like Damien said. But we definitely need some grit, some aggression. You seen when some of that was happening. What game was that? We lost that game, man. Was that Dallas? When they got physical with us, and Zion in the press conference was like,
yeah,
man, I love that I love that shit. I love that shit. Cause I think he a dude when you have that, like, he can rise to the occasion. I don't know how it fares with the rest of our team, but we missing that grit.
Yeah, he showed that stuff last season. That's why we were the number 1 seed, man. I mean,
the damage control is out of control.
I don't.
What damage am I controlling? I thought I was throwing gas on the fire, but go ahead.
But, no. This just came in. So Doc is not he's not on the staff just yet. He's gonna make his coaching debut against the Nuggets, which is Monday. So they're still with their interim coach. Just want to put that out there. I don't know if it really matters, but they'll they're still going through that transition. So
yeah, but
But I hope things can, you know, get turned around as well. I don't want y'all to think that, like, you know, I want the team to do well, but like I said, those inconsistencies just bother me. You know, 1 minute, because we've seen glimpses of the fact that they can play well. They can be a great team. But the really good teams are very consistent. Henceforth, look at how Boston's playing. For the most part, look at how the Bucks are playing, you know, and even
Name one more.
OKC,
Name one more. Name one more.
you know, huh?
Name one more team.
Oh, shoot. The Suns, they've actually found their stride now that they have everybody back. They're playing very well. I mean, they've jumped ahead of us here of late. The Clippers, they seem to found their rhythm and their identity, and they're playing very well. But yeah, I mean, all those teams that I just named, they're, you know, that's what happens. And they're starting, you're starting to see consistency. Like the start for the Suns and the start for the Clippers wasn't all there, but you know, they're starting to get in stride now. So we just got to find a way to play at a high level every single night. We got to bring it every single night and be consistent bringing it every single night.
Well, what's one thing all those teams got in common, Lex?
Identity. You know, they know who they are. Everybody knows their roles.
And they all swung for the fences. Their organization had the pedal to the metal. That's the thing I see.
Okay.
They locked in on what they wanted, and they went and got it.
So you saying the organization basically indecisive?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's getting to a
I
question.
agree.
My question would be, after watching the Jazz game and watching the game tonight, man, I can't name no goddamn Care Bears. Tasha, get out of here.
She's still on that. Thank you, Tasha girl.
I remember that from Dave Chappelle.
Look, you can go in on DC all you want on the Care Bears.
DC brought that shit up, man. That's all on him.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because he brought that up.
What's the Brown bell? What's the Brown bell that talk kind of funny?
That is a perfect metaphor for Willie Green.
I forgot a lot of that, man.
Our coach is a Care Bear.
You could have mentioned how to train a dragon or something.
Right. DC, super chat. You gotta name
talk about something that blows out fire.
Nah, I needed something with some love.
That is love.
Boy, how to train a dragon?
Burning inside.
Hold on, DC. Shout out to Tasha. Thank you, Tasha, for the super chat. Appreciate that. DC, name all the Care Bears you can, please. You can, DC. That's the super chat.
I only know one Care Bear, and that's Willie Green.
Boy.
No, the real Care Bears, bro.
That's the only one I can name, man.
You ain't said the Gummy Bears, dude. You said the Care Bears, huh?
Care Bears, yeah.
What'd you say, Lex?
I said you gonna show some pictures of the Care Bears.
Oh, you know,
we beat the Voodoo Pelicans.
And then you need to come up with a meme.
Care Bears. Oh, he
crop DC's head out and put it on a Care Bear.
You got a black one up there?
You know they ain't got no black bear. They got a brown one. There go DC's Care Bears, man.
Look at that, man. They
look at the villain is, bro.
Look how they overcome, man. That's the Pelican colors right there. That's the Pelican colors doing the bullshit.
Somebody said Will Guillory's a Care Bear.
Will Guillory's a Care Bear.
Oh, goodness.
Don't do Cousin Guillory like that. Don't do
you know that shit. Stop playing, man.
Don't do Cousin Guillory.
Man, that is you. I ain't never seen both of y'all in the same place at the same time. Never.
Shout out to DC. DC don't know nothing
but
about
anyway.
Goodness gracious.
Right. Well, shout out to the
damn, they got more. They got a lot of them.
Did you say Care Bears family? Oh my god.
They got a whole family. I thought it was like 3 or 4 of them. They got a whole damn family. But
Shout out to Tasha, man. Thank you, Tasha. Appreciate you.
Oh my gosh.
But the question is, what if we could go and get the perfect piece for this team within reason, right?
Uh-huh.
We could actually make work for our team. Let's say that particular team, or we getting this player from there, they're willing to do the trade, right, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do? What are we missing that we need more than anything? And if we got that, it would change the dynamic of what's going on right now with the major inconsistencies, the lack of being able to handle the physicality and the toughness, and to overcome that. What are we missing?
We're missing a dog, a bucket getter, and playmaker. But that guy is, to me, I feel like that guy's D Mitch.
Okay.
And he can play off ball.
Big Q.
Yeah, DC.
What do you think, brother?
Well, I mean, I agree with Lex. I think we need a ruffian. I call it that, a goon. We definitely could use that, man. No doubt about it. We had your boy, who was what was his name? Who was the black out?
James Johnson, man. I
Yeah,
liked. We had some grit when he was here.
Yeah, when he was here, I was like, yeah, that's just what we need. And then, of course, he, we didn't keep him. But yeah, we could.
Scuffles, boy, he diffused that shit real quick.
Yeah, they know, but he got a reputation as being one of those guys that you don't screw with.
What? So, man, the Miami Heat dudes, Udonis Haslam and what's your boy, the center, man? I can't remember his name.
Bam.
Bam. Boy, they were telling the story about James out. They said he beat a dude up and made him cry.
Yeah.
For them, man.
Yeah,
he said real quick too. It was like a little 30-second 30 piece.
I think, and that's probably one of the things that the Pelicans are really, and missing in terms of mentality wise, because there are a lot of guys that's really easygoing, and it could be by default. They could be a little bit too selfless at times, and then too selfish at times. It's a delicate balance. You can see they're trying to figure it out. But like I said, I think we probably would definitely need a goon or somebody like that with that type of talent.
You can't name a particular player
Man,
that we could get because
we could trade for. I don't know.
James Johnson, isn't he out of the league? He's still in the league.
I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's still playing.
James Johnson was picked up by the Indiana Pacers.
Oh wow.
Okay, so he's still.
They just recently signed him.
Okay.
Like probably. If not last week, maybe the week before. So he's fairly new on that team. I think Halliburton, he might have been playing. He might have went out the game that the first game that he was present.
But this is the thing too, because something's going to happen, man. Something's got to happen. We haven't heard anything in terms of Valanciunas in the contract extension, and there's still some time there. But in January, you see all these things happening. We've seen Terry Rozier's trade that happened, and some other stuff that's been going on. Something's got to give. So we've heard all these different centers, and then most of these guys, what they have in common is the fact that these guys are rim protectors. They're guys that they're mobile. They're a lot more mobile than what Val is. They're younger than what Val is. You heard about Gafford. You hear about Jared. You hear about
Wendell.
You hear about Wendell Carter. You hear about Isaiah Stewart and right, the guy from
you said Wendell Carter. We trying to trade from Wendell Carter?
There was smoke around them.
Yeah. There's a lot of names that have been mentioned.
So we're gonna trade JV for Wendell Carter?
No. What we're saying
we're saying that the names that have been coming up.
Okay. Rumors
like all the big men. Nick Claxton, he's
his name's out there?
Yeah, because he's on an expiring contract.
See, so a lot of what they're going on, and we heard the Alec Burke stuff as well, rumors, but most of this stuff is just them sniffing around to see what's going on. But at some point, they got rid of KLJ. You know what that was behind. Eventually, we're gonna have to pull the trigger on this Valachunas thing, and see what goes on there, because there's no mention or talk about what's going on with them. And obviously, to a degree, you got to see the Pelicans are trying to find that rim protector. So we'll see how it all goes, man. But as far as the goon, I'm gonna have to kind of think about that one, bro. Oh, I see Robinson. I don't know about Robinson, bro.
I think
He-
he's injured, but I like Robinson. I
injured.
mean, that's a hometown kid, man, from
Yeah,
Chalmette.
but DC, but he
Back
has
home.
that tag though, bro. He has that prone tag, that injury, that prone.
Yeah,
He's injury
he
prone, bro.
is. He gets banged up. When he's out there, man, he's real aggressive and nasty, and he's one of those guys, that you would like that, man. He plays with anger,
Right.
and we need somebody like that. But it's like this generation we're in. Do they really make a lot of guys like that? Like I like D Mitch, what you said, Lex. I like him as a player. I think he's way more talented than CJ. But the only thing with him is I don't think he fixed that issue. Of us being tougher or more physical or just a killer mentality. Unlocking that.
Well, he's a point
Yeah, he
guard.
injured right now.
He's a point guard and he's a dog. He's a dog, man.
I don't know, but they pull a trigger on you. You saying Donovan Mitchell, Lex?
Yeah, I guess you saying, well, who would we have to? We would have to give up Bi to get him, in my opinion. I don't think we can just get give up CJ and some picks to get him.
I don't know if they'll take CJ McCollum for Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Yeah, it had to be Bi.
Yeah,
I think you might be able to finagle it with Bi, but what you gonna do with CJ? You gonna have Donovan Mitchell and CJ backcourt?
No,
or Trey.
CJ has to.
I mean, we're getting another bucket getter. You know what I'm
You have to
saying?
come off.
I mean, and D Mitch can hit the three. He don't mind shooting threes. He's not gonna go a game where he's not gonna attempt threes.
You running them at the one though, right, Lex?
Yeah, because he's at the one right now.
And CJ gonna go to the two.
Yeah, that's what he's been playing, right?
And we putting we're
And
gonna have Herb still at the three, and
wasn't he playing off Garland though? Wasn't Garland running the point when he was healthy?
But Garland's been hurt. He's been hurt this whole time.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
Garland does run the point though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, that he's excelling at the point guard position right now. But the thing about him is he's more of a scorer. I mean, is he I don't see him as a facilitating.
Well, that's the thing about him, because really he's a combo guard. Like when he was at Utah, he can actually switch up. If he needs to play the point guard, he can do that a whole lot better than CJ playing the point guard position. He can also play that two guard. He can play off ball. He can play on ball, off ball, and he can play as a playmaker. I've seen all three of those roles out of him, and for long stretches. Huh?
I like Mitchell. He's a scorer, but I don't know if the Pelicans are willing to get rid of. I don't know. CJ McCollum probably.
I think he's a more talented version of CJ McCollum, in my opinion. Except right now, I think CJ is more mature, and is more adaptable. Just seeing what he's done this year, other than a night where he obviously went and turned back into CJ from last year, but
I ain't mad at the Mitchell pick.
I'm not mad at it either. I just don't think.
Like Murray. I don't know if that's the thing that they're looking at. I kind of like Murray.
Murray makes more sense for this team to me, but Mitch, it's another scorer. But I don't know. I just don't see it putting us over the edge.
Hold on, DC. Let me stop you just for a second. I'm gonna let you give the floor back. Let me give a shout out to the fam. Appreciate the family members for being in the building. Let's open up the phone lines. Y'all want to pop in, man, feel free to hit the link. It's pinned to the top of the chat. We got Don. Shout out to Don, man. He's been waiting patiently, man. I just noticed you there, brother. I was looking at some other stuff. Thank you for being patient. And for the rest of the family members that want to pop in, man, hit the link. It's pinned to the chat. Drop on in. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's game tonight and a potential matchup. What's going on with Milwaukee tomorrow? And then overall, what do you guys think about in terms of the trade market? what happens with Val? What happens in terms of how can we improve the team? Who's really a good option you guys see? So y'all can pop in, share your thoughts tonight. Please feel free to hit the like button. Give us a retweet if you're on Twitter. Shout out to the Twitter family. Shout out to our Facebook family, man. Appreciate y'all chiming in as well. I see you, Big Low. Shout out to Saints Discussions. I see you, fam. Appreciate y'all and others chiming in on our Instagram feed. So anyway, with that, we're gonna bring DC. Finish your thought, brother. We're gonna bring in Don as well after you finish your thought.
I'm trying to remember where I was at. But Donovan Mitchell, man, yeah, I like him as a scorer, but I don't think he put our team over the edge. It's another guy that could get buckets, which I think we one bucket getter shy. But couldn't you just get a guy like a lot cheaper, like a Jordan Clarkson, and have him come off the bench and do something of a similar thing, and still maybe keep your core? But
Would you give it
for Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah.
Let me see. It depends on what his contract is.
I don't know if he's on the block, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Him, marketing.
Jazz is open with a lot of their players. I don't think they're serious about marketing. I think that's BS. They like a Godfather offer. Yeah, maybe they do give him up, but
They're saying Saxton's on the
Yeah.
Saxton too. Wow.
But you got Danny Ainge over there, bro. So everybody who walk in his office
Ainge
get
likes
murdered.
to build in the draft. I mean, just like he did with the Celtics. Look at them.
Yeah.
So I mean, what Danny, he knows what he's doing. He's got a style and it works. So
yeah, but I think to me, Murray, man, I threw that idea out there a while back, and it just makes the most sense for our team. We need somebody to unlock, our 2 stars, or you got to start looking to move on from one of them. If we can't get them to coincide together, but I think they're fine together. I understand at times, it looks like it can't work, but I really think we're another facilitator short. I was really hoping Dyson Daniels could be that guy when we drafted him, but that ain't really working out. They're saying we're going to be Scoop Johnson threw another report out there about the Pels of us being a potential team that's looking for a point guard this summer. Not right now, but this summer, as well as a center. So we see the up and down situation we got with JV, so we pretty much all know they're probably not going to re-sign JV, especially if he doesn't get traded. But could a reunion with Chris Paul or trading for a guy like Clarkson or Colin Saxton, who tore us a new one? Or what about, Miles Bridges beat on women, so I don't know if that be the type of toughness you're looking for. But
okay, what? You see?
Well, I'm reading
sound like you everywhere.
Man.
It's like you went to talking to us and then talking to yourself.
I was reading the NBA trade rumors up there. The Jazz Miles Bridges.
DC, you said the quiet part loud. So it's supposed to kind of reverse the game on that, brother.
It's pretty funny, so I guess it's pretty good show material. But what about Mikal Bridges?
They're not giving him up. They building around Mikal.
What if he don't want to be there?
I mean, you know what? They gonna throw a lot of money at him. I think really the next best thing would probably be Cam Johnson. He's another two-way player, a shooter.
He reminds me of Trey Murphy, but like a better, I guess, a mid-range game. You see him as a two-way player, like a good defender?
Yeah, 3 and D.
Okay.
You know, that's what Michael is. Michael's probably like an edge above him. But they're not gonna they want to build around Michael. They've already came out and said that. They had to say that like 3 times to everybody because everybody was calling them about Michael. I'm like, nah, we ain't no, he's a crucial piece. No, Tramal. No.
You saying that's
Cam Reddish.
DC,
Cam Reddish is gonna fix everything.
that's what DC used to sell it. DC would love Cam Reddish, man. He used to talk about Cam.
I think you got Cam Reddish posters over there at your house, Big Q.
No,
You
I
said
don't.
the man name more than me.
DC always
Hey.
does this. He always does
Hey,
this.
someone always does this.
He always does
Yo,
this.
I got a quick question though. You know, this was I saw this and I didn't really think about it. But do you all think David Griffin, do you think he has beef around the league?
What do you mean? In what way?
Like, I don't know. It seems like as far as just his ability to get I guess quality trades and things like that. You know, as far as other people, you know, fooling with him.
I don't think so. I don't think. It seemed like a lot of people like the octopus.
That's the one thing I think he actually does do well is facilitate trades. We might not always like the players he get, but
Right.
he can
Yeah.
facilitate a trade. He always make trades happen. Even going back to his days in Cleveland.
Right.
I wasn't too familiar with him as far as that aspect in Phoenix. I don't remember. But Cleveland, he got all type of trades, and you can see we done had several different teams in 4 years with him here.
Yeah, the CJ McCollum and Larry Nance trade. I mean, we're bringing those guys and McCollum and Lance. That was big. That was a big trade to help the Pelicans out.
Man, we really didn't give up a lot for them.
Right. So that was
we could have had Larry Markkinen and the Lonzo Ball trade though. That man, I'm still
that and then you have to think Bledsoe and Steven Adams because it seemed like they were just a 1-year rental and then he shipped them off. And Bledsoe, he ain't even in the league no more.
I think the Derek Favors one, which was the original one, would have worked out fine if his mother wouldn't die, man. It's his mom died and his whole career just kind of went off the rails after that.
Right. Yeah, I was looking forward to that trade, DC. When they pulled that one off, man, I was real happy about the Favors trade. Yeah,
he was playing well. He was playing good with us too. And
you
his
laid that out
mom died, man. And
yes, that changed everything. His
sorry
mama
for that brother, man. So you ain't got no time limit on grieving,
Right. Especially your mother. That's a powerful one right there, dude. So yeah, it definitely changed the dynamic in him. You could tell that. He went back to Utah, I think, for the final couple of years of his career. He finished in Utah. But yeah. Man, listen, we are that was a good call on you, DC, to talk about Favors, man, and mention this the death of his mother, man. Yeah, that was big for him to have that happen because I was really looking forward to him. But I've been waiting in the chat. Don, are you there, sir? You can pop in whenever you're ready, brother. Welcome on in.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing,
bro? I'm doing good. Hey, Big Q, why ain't asked DC how he felt about his movie coming out?
Hey, bro, he ain't answering. I put it up on the screen.
I texted him, bro, while y'all was laughing and stuff. I told him he keep playing that before the release date. I'ma sue his ass.
It's a trailer. You can't sue me for the trailer, bro.
We ain't released it yet. I don't even know how you got your hands on it. You ain't supposed to be playing it on here.
It's a trailer.
Call my damn lawyers, man. I'm sick of playing.
It's a trailer, DC. And you know what, DC, you wrong for that, bro. You were smoking the joint in front of them children in that car. I seen it.
Bad influence.
That was tobacco, bro.
Yeah, it was funny tobacco.
That's probably after he shot the sheriff.
Yeah.
I did not shoot the deputy. Come on.
You better speak that, DC.
Give me a little credit.
Boy, yo. Go ahead, bust it, DC.
You better speak that, man.
This is a show about the Pelicans. Y'all are trying to get me and the producers of this movie in trouble. You ain't even supposed to have your hands on this trailer right now. Come on, let's move on, man.
Bro, what you talking about? It's a trailer. It's online.
Available on YouTube.
Lex,
That was a
hold
good
on.
little accent right there.
Lex said that too good. Lex,
Lex the one.
got
Y'all
some
keep
island,
messing
it's a
with
little
me. Lex the
island,
one.
island in you, Lex. It's a little island there somewhere, Lex.
Thank you, baby.
Look at DC. Look at him. DC, bro. What you doing, brother? DC got the joint and the children in the car with him.
That's a cigarette, Q.
Robin High.
That
DC,
is a cigarette.
the kid high. What's wrong with you?
That's a
What's
cigarette,
happening,
bro.
No, that brother. That's weed. Look at the children. They smiling, brother.
Kids, man. Kids always smiling, bro. What you talking about? They happy kids, man. They healthy.
They on that high.
You see driving high with the children.
That's why they're happy.
All right, well, Don, he don't want to take. He talking about suing me, bro, for playing the trailer, brother. So I don't know what I'm gonna tell him, right?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get him shadow banned, man. It's some bullshit.
Man.
But nah,
Don't
man.
tell me Miss Cleo Tromo.
It's time to see them kids high too.
Yeah, but nah, I'm just glad. I'm just glad we can laugh at that, because man, like when you think about all the reality what's going on with the Pelicans, man, like
yeah, Don,
like
tell him, bro.
I'm so over, but y'all been new. I've been over Willie, but I'm so over. I'm over BI too though. It doesn't work. Half of the reason why I think it doesn't work too is I feel like, my personal opinion, BI has this identity crisis as a basketball player in the NBA. BI is a very talented player, and he has a lot of abilities and stuff like that. And when you look at it in that way, he feels like he can do a lot of things. He can put his imprint on the game however he can in his way. But what he fails to realize is that his way doesn't win games. He is not a superstar. He is not a person that's going to lead a team to a championship or you know what I'm saying? I feel as though he's still stuck in that mindset of I'm him. I'm him. And what it does.
All right, Don, you done froze up,
Always
my
got
brother.
a little feeling about BI that it's just if he ain't in the spotlight doing it and leading the charge, it's like I ain't too all right. We might be winning, but I ain't all the way happy about what's going on because I want to be in the spotlight. So I ain't gonna cheer my teammate on. I ain't gonna always be, you know what I'm saying, like being there for my teammate as much as I should be because I ain't feeling right. I ain't in that spotlight. This is supposed to be me. I got the abilities. I can lead a team. Nah. Look at your. I don't give a fuck what you think. Look at yourself in the mirror. What have you done in your career? What have you done? Look yourself in the mirror. I understand you got a lot of players in the league got the ability. I compare them to like a Bradley Beal in a way. When you look at, because I all the BI lovers, I didn't want them to feel like I don't like BI in a way. Like I just keep it real. Like you look at Bradley Beal, like a guy that's very talented as hell, but he's not leading no team nowhere. He's not leading no team nowhere, man. It's just not happening. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just the type of player I think BI is just not doing that, and I think he struggles and has his ego and selfishness, and I just that's just the energy he give off for me, and I just be feeling that, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, bro, like, damn, dog, why you gotta be like that? Like, I don't like Like it's just in the play. Like man, it just shows when you ain't throwing an alley oop, a simple alley oop to your boy Z. Like the small things. When you're in the corner, Z got the ball. It's 4 seconds on the clock. You in the corner. Jordan Hawkins Jordan Hawkins out there. CJ out there. Everybody ready for the ball. And your motherfucking hands is on your hip. Your hands is on your hip, dog. I'm looking at that shit. I posted that the other day. Yo, B, I thought I was reaching. But nah, bro, that shit's all body language, bro. Cause when you balling, you smiling and shit. When your teammates on you, yeah, I appreciate it. Man, calm down, dog. You ain't did nothing. But being the selfish dude that you been. When it ain't your, you know what I'm saying? Like, cheer your teammates on when you ain't got all that shine going on. And just know, look yourself in the mirror. No, man, this is Z team. Be a man, understand what's really going on. Put things in perspective. This is Z's team, dog. Every time he's leading the charge, we do better. We just did it last game. We didn't have you when we played OKC. We came back and beat OKC. I believe so. If I'm not tripping, we beat OKC without BI. And now we don't got Zion tonight. Where's your passion about the game? Show up and show out. You ain't getting the foul like Antonio Dames was saying. Man, come on, man, sell some calls. Do what we got to do. It's called a game for a reason, because within this game you got to do certain things to get advantage, to give it all you got. So if you know we ain't getting no call, do something. You supposed to be this all-star, so show out. So man, I'm over it. Y'all was talking about Donovan Mitchell. Man, I take Donovan Mitchell over B. I swear to God. Because that's the dude that's going to get it at all costs. He want to win every game. He's going to give his all. He's going to try to score at will. Give me that. I promise you, when Zion out, he's going to try to show up and lead us however he can. Better than what B.I. be doing. And I'm pretty sure he's probably more unselfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, man, that's just, but somebody tell me if I'm tripping, but that's just what I've been getting, man. Like, that's what I've been getting. From Team USA on. Come on, dog. That shit, come on, man. Are you out there? I'm rooting for you from being a Pelican. I'm like, all right, come on, B. Let me show me something, dog. You represent the Pelicans, man. Let's see what you got. You ain't playing no more. What the? Oh, Ant-Man looking like he the leader of this team. Why you ain't? What's going on? You ain't even getting no PT. Like, have some pride about the game, man. Find where you fit in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do what you supposed. Like, he just need the spotlight, and when he ain't got that that's the identity crisis he's going through. So yeah, man.
All right, thank you, Don, man. Don letting it out, man. But y'all feel free to chime in, DC Lex.
This is a safe place.
Oh goodness. There you go again, DC.
I got 500, Lex.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Well, let me put hold on.
Don't be making no witches brew over there.
Oh. Just looking at everything. What were you talking, DC?
Nothing.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how they can't keep everybody. Honestly, I kind of feel like with the core, or really between Zion and BI, at some point, one of them two are gonna have to go. Obviously,
Zion will make us pay. Hope it's not him.
Everybody knows by now, the type of contract the BI is looking for. And I'm be honest, like I've seen the contract that Jaylen Brown that he got, but that type of contract, I don't even feel like Jaylen Brown deserves that type of contract. So I definitely don't feel like BI would be deserving of that contract. Obviously, he would have to reach some milestones. You know, All NBA, which just looking at things right now, looking at how other players are performing around the league, I don't think that's feasible. Obviously, nobody on the team made All-Star. I think really just due to the inconsistencies of the team, that was never going to be feasible, especially just the outings of what the Pale showed on national television. So yeah, that contract, if let's say if they did give him that contract, that would, if they did at any point decide to trade BI, no one around the league is going to take that contract. It would almost be similar to Solomon Hill.
What are you saying? If they gave BI a supermax?
Yeah. Because the thing is, how much better is BI going to get? I know he's entering his prime, but how much better is he gonna get? What is his ceiling? And then you have to look at, and again, I'm comparing it to Jaylen Brown because obviously he got a really fat contract, and that's, I don't think it's exactly, but it would be close to that. But look at what he's done with his team. He's done a whole lot more. He's accomplished a whole lot more. They've gone far in the playoffs. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They've done a whole lot. He's been consistently available. I think, stat wise, he's more productive. So just looking at that, it's like right now, and I do believe they've been in the league for the same amount of time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Both him and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And look where they are right now. And if you kind of look at that, it's kind of like a scale. So we can see that he hasn't accomplished like a whole lot at all. I mean, even with the Lakers, you all have to think BI did have his own team with the Lakers. They did build around him for, how long was he there? Like 4 years? Or maybe, yeah, because he left around the time that he
I don't
would.
think he was there for 4 years. It might have been like two or three, but they
Real shorter than that.
they didn't really build around him because they had Julius Randle, then they got Lonzo Ball, and they had
But that was after, right? Because he was the second round pick.
Right, but they got Lonzo Ball like right after him. And then not long after that, they wound up with LeBron. So everything for us, them building around him went out the window. But go ahead, finish your point.
Well, I mean, basically is that, I don't think that contract, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I don't think they'll give it to him, but if they did give it to him, I mean, if he's playing similar to this, which, I mean, really, for this to be a contract year, and you have to think the last time that he had a contract year for his rookie extension, well, what did he do? He got most improved player, I do believe. And wasn't that when he went to, that was his first time as an all-star? Well, this is kind of a similar situation. And none of that is in the cards right now. So it's like, I just don't think the ceiling for BI, I don't think we're going to get much more out of BI. by giving him that type of contract. And then if the Pels wanted to trade him, it would basically be an untradeable contract. You're talking about being stuck with that type of contract. And is that something that, as a fan, that you're willing to deal with, like and then that knocks you like back like 5-10 years, with that type of contract. I think that's just, something to think about, and I think that's why, you're hearing, well, B.I.'s the odd man out because, let's see, CJ, he has a declining contract, or I forget the name, as far as the scale and everything. So I don't know if it would be even feasible to even try to move him, but I don't know. And then you have Trey. Are you gonna move BI to make room for Trey to groom him to come up? Because you have to think Trey's a whole lot cheaper. Now I know he's not doing well right now, but I mean, obviously they drafted, Trey, and what, I don't know what number he was, but if you're gonna keep him, they got to give him something, but giving something to him would be a whole lot cheaper and a whole lot more feasible. And if they wanted to trade, if that was in the cards, they could do that as well. Like all those options would be feasible, but that would not be feasible with Brandon. And that's the thing that I think that you're running into, is that, are you willing to pay this guy this much money, but he's really not going to get that much better?
Well, I don't see it like that with BI. I see Brandon Ingram as a guy that still has like another gear. The main point I can point to show that, it's always been a good indicator for me, just looking at players. And usually what you see a guy be in the playoffs is more close to what they are, or what they could be or will be consistently, than whatever they're going through right now. I actually look at BI taking less shots and not being as aggressive and trying to figure it out in a contract year as a positive thing, because I see him being more about the team winning. But on the flip side, I did see that missed lob, and you do see those, like, what the hell is going on with that? But as far as him individually as a player, there's not a lot that he can't do. It's more of a mentality thing and adding more versatility to his game to be able to adjust it and be a true lethal 3-level scorer. You see times where he goes to finish at the basket and he's not finishing the way you think he should. Like, can I call him an elite finisher? Nah, he still got more to learn there. Far as generating foul calls, you look at that, and some of that I can kind of it's a respect thing as far as our team, because you got the same thing with Zion with them generating foul calls. So like, I can say that's a wash. The 3-point shooting, no. It's like, man, he got another gear to go there. Generating a nice pull-up game, step backs. All you see him do these things. It's like it's there. He can do it, but just consistently putting it all together. Extremely, extremely excellent master of the mid-range. And that's where we run into a problem. Because it's like that's his place to eat. But you got Zion, and when you got Zion, that paint gonna be crowded. So a lot of the times, his bread and butter, or what he can do really well, it's like the way the team is constructed with Zion doesn't always benefit him, or isn't set up for him to do what he does his best. But he's also very good at passing. I think the elevation for him and we're seeing it would be his defense. BI becoming a true two-way player, I think would unlock a lot and change a lot with him seeing other ways to be just as impactful in the game, even without the ball. Because maybe we did ourselves a disservice when we got BI and we just allowed him to ball out 2019, Alvin Gentry basically just unleashed him, right? But he wasn't required to play no defense. You know what I'm saying? So now you got him with Willie Green trying to get that part of his game together. And when I look at a guy like Chris Middleton, who's getting paid, I believe, like $180-something million, people may disagree, and I get it. But I see BI as better than Chris Middleton. I see him offensively as better than Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown obviously has that edge defensively, and he just fits with that team. It works. But if you switch those two guys, will Boston not still be just as good? I think BI's problem he has right now is mental. Before this, it was all injuries. He had the injury bug on him when he played. He was balling out. We was all excited, Afro BI and all this. He just kept getting hurt. Stan Van Gundy year when they played with Zion, we had the best duo in the league. So it's like we looking at these dudes as they can't play together. I've seen it work. I get NBA League Pass. You go back and watch that season when B.I. and Zion played with Stan Van Gundy, and you tell me they can't play together. It worked.
But that's with Van Gundy. Look,
I know.
Who's the head coach now? It's a totally different system.
I get that. But I'm just saying, like, the idea that B.I. and Zion can't coexist, I think is untrue. But we have to get more creative what we do with them to make it work. And then let's be honest, right now, a lot of times we don't we get one off the court and the other one, it's like they don't even play a lot all the time together. So them figuring out ways to work that out, I think is what we should work towards. Because whatever you get in the trade for BI, especially at where he's at right now, I would consider his trade value down right now, right? You won't get an impactful return back. The contract that he's going to command due to how he's playing right now, he won't get even an All-Star or All NBA selection. It won't be nowhere as big as we were thinking it would be because of those things, because that's a requirement for him to get the Supermax, right? So I don't see him as somebody you got to get rid of. Maybe he is frustrated by coming to the realization that this is going to be Zion's team, and he didn't give him the alley. I just look at the big picture, man. I'm not going to get caught up in just what I'm seeing exactly right now, but looking forward, like, okay, we don't have guys that we can get signed here, right? Milwaukee had the same problem. It was hard for them
Small
to
stuff, make the big picture.
it was hard for them to get guys before they won a championship, right? So we give up BI for what? What do we get back? When we finally got somebody who want to be here, and then we're going to trade him, give him up to get what? And giving him a max, what would max numbers be for BI? What, a similar contract to CJ? Because the damn show ain't going to be what we giving Zion, right? Because he don't have no All-NBA selection. He only got one All-Star. So I don't see it as a smart move to get off of him unless you got this way better piece that fits with Zion. I don't think it's addition by subtraction with BI, man. You don't have a lot of dudes who could go out there and get you buckets on a triple or double team with his mind right. So I think he's trying to balance not being selfish and actually being more unselfish. And it's a process the dude working through. Is it pretty? Nope. Is this damage control? Nope. This the same thing I've been saying about BI, only because what he is for what you could get for him. Like, we gonna give up BI and get what? We gonna get Zach LaVine? Is Zach LaVine better than BI overall as a player? Is he better for this team? What are we getting? You're giving him up to get what, and how does that improve the team as a whole? That would be my point.
I mean, I just kind of feel like at this point their games kind of clash. I don't know if it's the system or how they're being played, but one thing I do know is that every once in a blue moon, and I'm talking about this season, I'm not looking at past seasons because I truly do believe you're as good as your last hit. The thing is that they're not playing off of each other. They don't even do a basic pick and roll. If they do, it's every once in a blue moon. It's not consistent. They've been playing with each other for a lot of games this season. And I don't feel like their chemistry has really improved, like even just a little bit. Now, one thing I will say is, like, you got to think, Dame and Giannis, they just got together this season. And already with them just, they haven't played in the past at all. And they have chemistry. Like, it seems like I understand the injuries and things, but it's like, man, like, it's not consistently being used as far as putting these guys in actions, using these guys to play off of each other. I think a lot of times Zion is more so used as a decoy. Everyone once in a blue moon, BI he'll throw an alley-oop, but that's like every 3, maybe 4 or 5 games. It's like, you see it, but it's like we're not getting a large sample. Now, I know there was like 2 or 3 games where they were really working on their pick and roll. They had video of them in practice. We haven't seen that. I mean, we haven't seen it. It's like their chemistry is not first nature. It doesn't come across natural. It seems like there's a lot of thought. Should I pass it to him? Should I not? Or, instead of going towards, I've seen where BI, instead of going towards Zion, he swings it to the opposite side. I'm like, you had a 2-man game right there. Why did you swing the ball to CJ and then to Herb, then to Jonas, then back to CJ, then back to Herb, then back to you, and then put up a shot? It's like that doesn't make sense to me. If these are supposed to be the duo on the team, well, why are we not seeing that interaction? And the thing is, it's like, let me tell you something. Like Dame, I'm pretty sure as soon as that ball is inbounded and he turns around, all right, where's Giannis? Where's Giannis? All right, he's over there. And he's bringing the ball down. You know what I'm saying? As a duo, that's what you do. Y'all supposed to find each other. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that on a consistent basis. I'm not seeing that. And that's a problem. Like, are you trying to know where each other is on the court? And it has to be both of them. It's not just, it can't be one-sided. It has to be both. And it's just not, it's not on the surface enough. You can look at AD and LeBron. As soon as LeBron gets the ball, turns around, he's scanning the court. What in the minds of, if you know that you're a duo, it's this is LeBron and AD. It's like, all right, we're AD. All right, he's right there. All right, good. They're communicating. They're making eye contact. They do a little flip thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what you saw Alonzo and Zion do a little bit. Zion talked about that all the time. They just had that eye contact, and they knew the timing was right. It was impeccable. It was perfect. You know what I'm saying? They AD and LeBron, they do that all the time. It's like that's part of that. That's a play. That's a part of the game plan. Getting an easy shot. You know, it's stuff like that, and it doesn't have to be alley-oop. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like it's an action. It's like getting your two best players on the team in action. And I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, you know, why are we not seeing that? Like, what's the problem? You know, I don't get it. And that's why I'm saying that, because I'm looking at what's going on out there, and it's like they're not looking for each other enough.
I get that, but what's the alternative? So, okay, you want him out of here. You're looking at a guy like Zach LaVine, who's on the hook for $250 million. He gets more than Zion. We got what, Donovan Mitchell. Maybe we could get. Do we even know if Cleveland really wants to trade Donovan Mitchell? But I guess he would
that
be.
was just a name out there. I mean, it can be anybody. I'm just saying, like, look, I don't know if Zion and BI, I mean, they don't even come across as they hang with each other off the court. Like, I don't really get those vibes from them. I mean, I don't know, but they really seem like they're kind of in their own world. They definitely don't come across as best friends.
Right.
And I know that's something that you don't have to have, but if you think about it, that is a part of chemistry. You know, it's not what you do on the court, it's also off the court as far as having that chemistry. And I mean, these guys, they've been together since, you know, Zion was drafted. BI was traded the same year. You know, and we've had moments of those, but again, 3 coaches later in a new system, you know, it's just kind of mind-boggling, because it's like, okay, what's going on? Because really, I feel like in the past, they at one point in time, they had better chemistry than now, but the team wasn't good. You didn't have guys like Herb Jones. You didn't have Trey. You didn't have Alvarado. You didn't have those guys. The pieces around them were not good. And you know, when you said that, I thought about that. Like, there was a different cast around them too. So they have a better team around them compared to in the past, but the system is different. So I don't know. I mean, just it doesn't necessarily have to be Zach LaVine. I mean, I don't know who out there is available, but just from a financial standpoint, I mean, is that something that you're willing to do, you know, that the organization's willing to do? And then if things don't work out, because you know you always have that, is it going to be a tradable contract? And the answer is going to be no. If that contract is given to him, nobody's going to take it. Especially like BI, he struggles on, you know, taking threes still, because that's not first nature for him. You know, so you're starting to get into, you know, a mid-range guy. And the thing is, the league is looking for shooters. That's why they were asking him to, you know, shoot more and things. And shoot, that's one of the reasons why Melo got basically booted out the league. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mid-range guy. No, he was struggling on taking those threes. I think it was a different dynamic. But I think with Zach LaVine, it's kind of like, you know, it's probably his contract. I haven't really looked at his contract, but
Zach LaVine making a lot of money. Like he's not worth that contract.
Yeah, well,
And Bi
I
look,
wasn't
look,
thinking about Zach. I know they said that there's really not a market for him right now, but
I don't know. Prior to this year, for the most part, looking at his numbers, points per game, he's improved every year, minus the 2021 year, and this year. Every other year of his career, he's gotten better or stayed exactly the same. Um, I look at him right now. What we have is an enigma. It's something that has to get figured out. They're still installing stuff. This is what the players were saying. If you go look at all of their practice videos um, from this prior week and how excited they were to have these 3 days off. Oh, hold up. Shout out to my man Ryan. Appreciate you, bro, for the super chat. $10. I don't know if this was covered, but I'm noticing a trend where opposing teams are packing 3 near the basket when we get the ball. It's as if we're limited to the 3 ball. How can we adapt? I think for us to adapt to that, man, we got to run different sets and be more versatile, and more creative. One thing, it ties into what Lex is talking about. Bi and Zion. We need to see more pick and roll actions with those guys. That if they can get chemistry with that, it's unstoppable. What are you gonna do? You can run it either way, and there's really no answer for it. But they gotta perfect it and be good at it. So I think that would be the answer. 2-man game with Bi and Zion. See more of a 2-man game with Zion and CJ. So, but as far as Bi though, you got guys that want to be here. We've had this franchise and for the longest, man. I remember the Dante Cunningham lineups with with Solomon Hill and what's the little scary dude Q used to pick on all the time who Alvin Gentry had out there point guard, Tim Frazier and all these guys. These were starters. We couldn't get anybody here. To just like let Bi walk, I think would be foolish. If we trade him, we run the risk of being in the same situation. Like look at Zach LaVine. He's on the trade market right now with that $250 million contract. And this kind of goes to your point, Lex. He $215 million and shit. Nobody really don't want him. Cause he ain't worth that. Don't want to run in the same situation with Bi, but at the same time, I've seen him improve. I've seen him be coachable. I've seen him willing to change. He's been trying to shoot more 3-pointers. You've seen it look very good at times, and you've seen a game like tonight where he just doesn't shoot any. It's indecision, indecisiveness. Still trying to figure things out. So, he still has another year on his contract. It's currently constructed. It's not like they have to re-sign him this offseason. But I like to see where this goes for the rest of the season. Not interested in trading him right now. And I think things are going to get better. I don't hope, I don't wish. The Pelicans are going to get better. They've done a lot of things so far this season. We're 7th in the West, but we're 1 game out of 5th. And there's still a lot of season left. This ain't like we're on the back leg of the season. We're basically just passing the halfway point. So there's still a lot of games left. It's a lot of room for improvement, and there's a lot of time for them to improve. You go ahead and get your closing remarks, Lex. I guess we done ran down up out of here, man. Talking our ass off. We're supposed to let him talk. And we're gonna go ahead
Uh,
and close out the show.
oh, okay. Yeah, we just I think we need to make some changes. I mean, the change is gonna come regardless. It's that's kind of like inevitable. There's a lot of expiring contracts on this team. Obviously, the biggest thing is, that the biggest talk has been, with JV. Um, and there's, ups and downs with him. Obviously, the showing on tonight, again, he couldn't keep up with Chet, and that kind of hurt us. But every time we did go to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he was one of the top scorers on tonight. That if that really means anything, but there's a lot of things that are going on with this team. I mean, to really pinpoint, just one thing is, it just it's mind-boggling. Um, because then, even if you do make a trade, there's always, and I've been saying this, there's always the coaching. There's always that, and that's also been, um, a struggle for the team. The adjustments, the rotations. I like to think that all that stuff would have been figured out, in the off season. Really coming up with schemes and different things, and a lot of stuff is just predictable. The sets, just the game plan, not having having a feel for the game, understanding the vibe and what direction and how to make those adjustments, because it's not just the counterpunch to what the other team is doing, but there's a feel to every game. It's like, someone having the hot hand, keeping them in there. I mean, it's a lot of things right now, man. I mean, how can you pinpoint which way to go? Because it seems like there's an identity crisis in so many departments of this team. Like it's almost broken down into factions. And I think that's what makes it so difficult to really pinpoint, well, where do we start? How do we polish the identity? How can we be more consistent on a nightly basis, playing at a high level? It's just a lot going on. And you like to think the answer would be, the two answers is make a trade or fire Willie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those are the only two options.
Say Lex. Got
What?
2 words for you.
Oh. One love.
That's one word.
What? No, it's not. That's 2 words. One love. You a chicken head.
We spell them together.
No.
We spell them together where I come from.
What?
James Borrego. You don't think?
Yeah. I mean, well, are they gonna do it though?
At some point, if things, like, I like Willie. I think Willie can be the coach that we need him to be.
Oh, you are
Regardless of
too nice, man.
I'm
You're
not
too
being
nice,
nice, I'm just being honest.
Man, I want results, man.
But wait. I also think Willie is on the clock. Like, if we have
Yeah, his
maybe,
contract runs out at the end of the season.
right. So if we have another season and it's basically the same results as what we got, do we have that person in house, or are we be willing to move on to somebody else? All of the teams that we pretty much model ourselves after, in my opinion, I think we model ourselves after the Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. To me, that seems the franchises we look to and try to mold ourselves to be. Then look how they handle coaches. You had Mark Jackson doing what he did. They put Steve Kerr in, and that ascended, to where it needed to be. Could we see a similar situation? Or you look at a team like Milwaukee, who think that was a shame what they did to Bud, but they brought him in after Jason Kidd was disappointing. He had all of that success, won him a championship, and then once he fell off the cliff for the playoff series, they got rid of him. Put somebody else in there. He wasn't getting the job. Fired him halfway through the season. Brought Doc Rivers in. So I do think there is a clock on Willie if this team doesn't show tremendous growth. But truth be told, I'm not sure if that's the end of this year or next year. But I think Willie has the ability to figure it out. With a guy like James Borrego there, our incredible offensive mind, that's why I keep harping on the break. I want to see the All-Star break. Want them to view where we're at during the season, see all of these deficiencies we talk about, see what they can implement, how they can change the things. Willie has alluded plenty of times that he's aware of it. They see the numbers. They see the numbers with the starting unit. They, you know,
Is
they,
he?
they,
Are you sure?
they hearing the noise. If it's not, he's hearing the noise. And I'm just very curious to see how the rest of this season plays out. I ain't being nice. I'm just looking at the whole totality of it. Like right now,
Me
we
too.
basically have the same record as we had last year. And last year, you know, basically Zion went down in this month. So we like 2 weeks or maybe a week and a half from Zion, pretty much going down from last year. And we got pretty much the same record. And we were the number one in the West then. So how do they finish out the season? I think is a big thing. We've had years where we blazed it down the stretch, Willie's first year here, and then last year we had a platinum opportunity to be able to get out of the plan, and we just poo-pooed all that away down the stretch. So what are we gonna see down the stretch? What are we gonna see as far as the creative innovations during the season, after the break? And are we tactful, skillful, and schematically intelligent enough to maybe be holding some things for later in the season or the playoffs? Because I see a lot of it seems like they holding back a little bit, as you alluded to tonight, and just other things we see that's weird. Or maybe they're trying to figure certain things out that they know they want to do. They don't like how it's playing out fully in practice, and they aren't ready to implement them. But only time will tell.
Okay, you know what,
And
DC?
with that,
Look, hey,
on the next episode
with
of
that sneak attack stuff,
Pelicans
man.
Post
Man,
Report.
look, we
What's
don't
up?
need to hide nothing. We need to get creative and work on stuff.
Well, I mean, you don't want to just try shit in the game and it ain't working in practice, or you ain't fully installed it in practice. I do get that. And the track record of this team, we are slow to adjust. Lexxah, we don't like it. I don't like it, but
Hey,
they slow to adjust. But they eventually figure some things out.
every 10 games.
Hey, that's it, Willie. Man, say every 10
Woo!
games. I'm just
You know what? Have you seen Zootopia?
yeah, I don't remember a lot of things.
The sloths in the DMV.
But hey, remember
Whoa.
the old race with the the turtle and the hare,
Ow.
right? Who won the race?
Are
Slow and steady wins the race.
you doing today? That's that 10 games. Okay, DC? That's that 10 games right there.
10 games.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Hey,
All
what
right,
it is.
DC.
So with that, I would like you all listening and please like, subscribe, and share the show. Because sharing is caring. The Pels ain't all doom and gloom. We'll be back tomorrow to cover the Milwaukee Bucks. Hopefully we could buck on them. You know, take off some of this frustration on Milwaukee. It's gonna be all right, Lex. Just woosah, woosah.
Look,
You get to
it's
do it
pretty
tomorrow.
scary right now. Which team is showing up? Which team is showing up?
On the next episode of the Pelicans Postgame Report, we will definitely tell you. You'll know for sure tomorrow. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and check out of here. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate all y'all little jokes and stuff tonight. Had a good time tonight, man. Another excellent show as well. Appreciate your commentary, Lex. Go Pels. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.
Show us the edge, the chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level, yeah. Expectations high, gotta show 'em you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter, baby. Put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section.